Okay, so today we're going to talk about the hip bursitis. Okay, so let's talk about bursitis. What is bursa? The bursa is a fluid-filled sac. Okay, the purpose of the bursa is to give a cushion to your tendon, muscles, or bone. So when you move your joint, you don't get the friction at particular areas where you find the bursa in the body. Especially you find it on the shoulder, elbow, hip, knee. But today we're going to talk about the hip. There are main two types of bursa. Okay, one is the greater trochanteric bursitis, and the second one is the iliopsoas bursitis. So greater trochanteric is when you stand up, okay, and right on the side you will feel a bone like a big ball. Okay, you will feel on the side of the hip. That's your greater trochanteric. Okay, so the bursa is laying on that trochanteric. The IT band, you must have heard about, IT band, which goes on the side of the hip. Okay, it starts from the tensor fascia lata that turn in the IT band. So the bursa, the greater trochanteric bursa, is right underneath that. When you get the inflammation of the bursa, so bursitis, anything itis is inflammation. So you get localized swelling, redness, okay, and because that the swelling and redness, whenever you move your hip, the tendon, okay, the IT band, rub on it and cause more problem. Now, because of the inflammation, it's no longer moving properly. That's a very common bursitis problem. Okay, the second one I mentioned about the iliopsoas bursitis, which is right in front of the hip. Okay, so iliopsoas is the name of the muscle. So those are helpful to flex our hip. So this movement is done by those muscles. So right below those muscles there is a bursa. Again, when you have the bursitis, that muscle no longer glide properly and it causes the irritation and causes the pain. Okay, so very common symptoms of this bursitis is localized pain. You will be able to kind of put the fingers and pinpoint, yes, it's hurting right here. And most of the time when it's a greater trochanteric bursitis, your pain is more outer side of the hip, and right around that ball that we were talking about, right around it you will find very tender spot. Okay, so other symptoms are your pain increase with the walking, standing, stair climbing. Your also typical symptoms is if you sit too long, and after that when you're trying to stand up you get the pain. Okay, so right on the outer side. So those are the very common symptoms that people experience. The acute bursitis is, let's say you did something, you were running, okay, or you were doing hiking, stair climbing, you did something that usually you don't do, but now all of a sudden you try to do and you overdone it. Okay, that's the time you get the trigger point, and that's the time you start getting a little pain. Earlier you take care of it, better it is. The first course of action is again rice. Okay, you want to make sure you use the ice on it, okay, to reduce the inflammation. That's the first course of action. Okay, and rest. Okay, don't try to irritate the localized area. Okay, so when you rest, put the ice. Many times it helps tremendously in the beginning, and usually it gets better over the time. If the pain doesn't go down, many times I've seen people get more pain if they ignore that and keep on doing their daily activities. You need to make sure that you give a rest. You need to make sure that you do proper treatment. As I said, icing, gentle stretching, all those things. We will go over some of the exercise that helps. Okay, but pain linger around more than 2 weeks. You want to make sure, you do something about it, because once it becomes chronic, that can create more problem. Because see, when you're having some pain around the hip, your body start compensating using different muscles, different joints to substitute the movement, to substitute the pain. And that's where you ended up with the different kind of pains, like a knee pain or back pain. Okay, because your body is compensating. Okay, so you don't want to ignore that. Also, another consequences is if you don't take care of it and it comes and goes. Let's say you have a pain, it got better in a couple of weeks and you ignore it, said okay, it got better, I'm gonna get going, you got it again, You did something and overdone it and you got pain again. Again, same thing happened. If this happened repeatedly, that means you need to make some changes in your posture. That means you need to strengthen your hip. Because if that's keep on happening over the time, your bursa becomes very thick. Okay, and now no longer give the cushion that required for your tendon or muscles to glide properly. So that's the problem then become very chronic. Then immediately any wrong movement, any long activity will trigger the pain. Okay, so you want to be careful with that one. Okay, how you can prevent it. Okay, let's say you got, like, one time you got it, what you can do to prevent it. One, if you know for sure that there, some of the job required repeated movement, okay, you need to modify your posture if your job required that kind of activities. Okay, second, regular stretching. Okay, when your muscle is not moving properly, when the length of the muscle is shortened, because of that you get the pressure on the bursa, you're putting extra pressure on it, that can cause more problem. So regular stretching of the hip, especially your hamstring, your IT band, your glutes, your hip flexors, your quads, if you stretch those muscles regularly, your hip will be in a very good condition. That helps you with a lot of other conditions too, but especially with the bursitis as well, it helps. Okay, so regular stretching helps. You do need to make sure you warm up your body before you're doing any kind of aggressive activities. Let's say if someone is planning to go for a hiking, okay, they don't do regularly, but they need to do 3 miles of hiking. You want to warm your body before you do that. Okay, or you're playing some sports, or if you know that you're gonna walk for 2-3 miles and usually you don't do it, then your body needs to be warmed up, your muscle need to be warmed up, then you do your activities. Okay, stretching helps, gentle cardio activities helps. Okay, so those things really help to prevent any kind of injury to your bursa. Okay, the other one is the improve your gait, because sometimes what happens when you're walking, your leg, your posture, your gait pattern, gait means you're walking, is not proper. Okay, if you're crossing your leg too much, if there is not enough space between the leg, then you're overstretching your IT band, which causes a problem. Okay, so sometimes it can be a gait. Okay, so those are the things that helps you to prevent it. Okay, who are more prone to get this kind of problem? So as you age, with the diagnosis RA, if someone has RA or OA, like rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, someone with the gout, injury to the hip, if they injured the hip before and they're using it, and if they didn't get proper rehab, this can happen. Okay, diabetes can lead to this too. Spine problem like a scoliosis, when your spine is curved, you're putting extra pressure on the one side of the hip than the other, that can lead to that too. Sometimes the bone spur, if you have any kind of bone condition that where you're getting some bone spur around the hip, that can cause a problem. Leg length discrepancy, because of whatever the reason, again, one of them, it could be scoliosis, and one leg is a little bit shorter than the other, and it can put the extra pressure on the other hip. So those are the causes, those are the people who are more prone to get this kind of problem. So today we're going to show you some of the exercise that can help you to prevent this kind of pain, the hip pain. Okay, so do make sure this exercise has to be in a pain-free range. A little bit discomfort, okay, but if you're having pain, do not do it. Okay, because you need to do properly. If you are hurting, it means you're doing something wrong, your posture is wrong, your form is wrong, you may increase your pain. So it's very important that try it, but if it doesn't work, don't keep on working on it. Okay, then you need to consult one of the therapists, okay, or doctor. Okay, so let's demo some of the exercise so you can understand what it is. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to show you 5 exercises that helps you with your hip bursitis. Okay, the first one is the butterfly strengthening. You take a rubber band, okay, put it around your knee, okay, like this, okay, and you lay down on the bed, then stretch, going out, hold it, and relax. Go out, nice and easy, don't rush, maintain the form, make sure you don't compensate, and down. If you're hurting, you might go both legs, or you just go a little bit, go as tolerated, nice and easy, whatever you can, hold it, and back. Okay, so the affected area, like this, okay, and make sure the other hip doesn't lift up. So I'm going to show you the left side. When you do this, don't do this, avoid doing that. Okay, so that's the first one. You can do about 8 to 10 repetitions, about 2 to 3 sets. Okay, take a rubber band, just like this. Okay, go between the leg, then you cross it. Okay, you cross it like this, and open, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, again about 8 to 10 repetitions. Okay, do make sure the rubber band, you start with the low resistance. Okay, should not be painful when you do this exercise. Okay, start with the low resistance. Okay, and then gradually you can build up the strength. In the TheraBand, the color represent the resistance. So yellow is the lightest, okay, low resistance. Black is the toughest, high resistance. Okay, so that's the second one. Third one, take a ball, small ball like this, okay, or if you have a pillow, use the pillow, no problem. Okay, then put your legs like this, squeeze, hold it. Okay, hold it about 5 seconds, start with that, and relax. Okay, if you want to go advanced, you can lift it up like this and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, do it again, up, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do one more. Up, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can do about 5 repetitions, 5-second hold. Okay, the fourth one is bridging. Okay, so again, you lay down, start with the basic, put your hands on the side, up, down, up, hold 1, 2, 3 seconds, and down, up, and down. Okay, up, and down. Okay, so this 4 exercise will help you with all the surrounding area of the hip. The first one was butterfly strengthening, helps you with your side of the muscles, your hip abductors, your IT band. The ball exercise where you squeeze it will help you with your inner muscle, inner thigh muscles. Okay, bridging, the last one we did, will help you with your glutes. Okay, so the exercises are designed in a way that it takes the pressure off from the bursa and also strengthen the surrounding structures. Okay, the last one I want to show you is IT band stretch. Okay, so the simple way to do it, there are so many different ways you can stretch your IT band, but the simple way you can do is go at the wall. Okay, so any wall, cross your leg. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure the ankle is in, and then I'm gonna lean towards the wall. Okay, I can take a support or I can lean on it if I want, and then go and stretch it. Okay, so all these areas are getting stretched. Okay, so basically you go like this. Okay, so make sure you take a support of the wall. Okay, so the another one we're gonna talk. Okay, so the last one we're gonna talk is the IT band stretch. Okay, so the IT band stretch, you go to the wall. Okay, any wall, close, cross the leg, your ankle goes in. Okay, then lean towards the wall. You can take a support and stretch it. Okay, hold it for 10 seconds and relax. Do make sure to cross the leg. Okay, then only you get proper stretching for your IT band. Okay, so these are the basic 5 exercises that helps you with your hip pain. Okay, any question, please reach out to us. Every exercise is designed to specific person, so but this one is more generic instructions. Okay. Okay, so those are the exercise that helps you with your hip pain, especially for the bursitis. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you learned something, and as you know for sure that we offer free consultation anytime. If you have any question, concern, please reach out to us. Our phone number is 469-212-8888, and our website is surecurewellness.com, and you can fill out the web form on our website if you want it to be reached out, and our wonderful staff will reach out to you and will consult. We also do the consultation on the phone as well. So if you have any question, just give us a call. Um, all right, you all have a good time, and I will see you next time with a different topic. Okay, all right, bye.